I saw that the sign was here in your office. Everyone is welcome except First Amendment auditors. What does that mean?
It means that anybody is welcome here. First Amendment auditors, I don't know if that's what you're doing or not, have been very disruptive to county employees and services that they're trying to provide to the public.
Do you have any specific behavior that First Amendment auditors are engaging in that would be disruptive? Is it just the filming like I'm doing now? Is it just the recording, that I'm doing now?
Not necessarily just the recording, just trying to, the one that was here, trying to get into areas that they really have no.
Well, when he was here, the sign was already there because you could see it in his video. So when he was here, the sign was already here. So did you have prior experience with any First Amendment auditors, sir?
Not directly, no.
Not directly. So just based on videos you've seen online?
Based on videos that they've done and talking with the people of the videos that they have taken, and the fact that not everything that was said was put into the videos. They cut out certain parts that would make themselves look bad. So
These are things that you've seen. You didn't. This sign was already up by the time this First Amendment auditor came to your facilities here, right?
yes,
So these are things that you've seen online. So you watch First Amendment audit videos?
I've watched one or two.
You watch one or two.
I don't waste my time with them.
So do you think that if I, for example, do you think it would be fair if somebody said, everyone's welcome except county administrators, right? Because of the ignorance that you displayed in portraying that and putting that sign up in your government office here, the people's office. Do you think that that would be fair just because we have one bad county administrator that we should take it out on all county administrators in New York or in the country? Do you think that would be fair to judge a group of people based on some videos you've seen online of certain individuals? I do call myself a First Amendment auditor. I'm an independent journalist. I go by a lot of different titles, activist. So I don't think that I've ever interrupted any business or portrayed anything the way. For sure, this video is not going to be edited in any kind of way that would portray you in a worse light than you already portrayed yourself. But my point, sir, is that I don't think as a government official, as a public servant, that sign is appropriate for a public office. A First Amendment auditor, by the title alone, is someone who's auditing government officials to see if they're respecting the First Amendment. Do you respect the First Amendment, sir?
I certainly do. That's why you're here.
And
That's why you're allowed to do what you do.
Yeah.
And I'm allowed to do what I do.
You do have First Amendment protected rights, sir. But I'm saying, as a government official, this is not a private office, correct? This is your taxpayer funded office here.
This is a government office.
Are you an elected official, sir?
No, I am not.
You're appointed?
Yes.
You're appointed by whom?
The legislature.
By the legislator, who are elected officials.
Who are elected officials.
So there's always a way to hold, appointed officials accountable. So I just figured.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're appointed by the legislator. Is the legislator here in Cortland County aware of the sign that you've posted on the People's Office here?
I'm sure they are.
They're aware of the sign?
Yes.
And you personally, Mr. County Administrator, you think that it's an appropriate sign to have in your office?
It was put up as a joke.
It was put up before you even had any interaction, sir, with any type of First Amendment auditor. So that's why I find it a little bit disingenuous. You've never had an interaction with a First Amendment auditor before, and yet you put up that sign. So it seems that you watched a couple videos online, you formulated an opinion.
People who were on those videos.
You talked to people who were on those videos, correct?
Firsthand.
Do you know that there's First Amendment auditors that work with police departments, that collaborate with police departments, that do trainings at police departments, that police departments invite them over? Do you know that those types of First Amendment auditors exist?
There's a lot of people out there that I don't know exist.
Exactly. So why would you automatically? Am I not welcome in this office?
As long as you're...
Just because I'm here doesn't mean I'm welcome. Am I welcomed in this office, sir, as a First Amendment auditor?
You're welcome in this office,
But,
yes.
so would you take down that sign?
No, I will not.
Why won't you take down the sign, sir?
Because there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it was put up as a pun on...
It's a very disrespectful sign, sir. It's disrespectful to people who are trying to fight for our rights and make sure that the government is respecting our rights. and you arbitrarily, as a county administrator, did you get approval by anybody?
No, I did not.
You just put the sign up just because you watched a couple videos online, so you wanted it to be funny. You said as like a joke.
Are you?
I'm an independent journalist, sir. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of why a government official would put up such a, controversial sign as a government worker. It seems to me like you're trying to be anti-First Amendment, because you're not saying everyone's welcomed here except people who disrupt business. That would probably make more sense. I could agree with that. But First Amendment auditor.
And I can add to the sign. First Amendment auditors that interrupt business.
You can add to the sign. First Amendment auditors that. So would you commit? So I'm asking you, sir. Would you commit for the people that watch these videos? This is not some niche thing. This is especially my viewership and the support that I've gotten. I've gotten support. I am the First Amendment auditor that works with police departments throughout the country, Ohio, New Jersey, more to come. And I help bridge the gap between law enforcement and the public, and hopefully government officials and the public servants, right? So I don't believe any of my videos. Again, you can have whatever interpretation you want. You'll see this video, and you'll hopefully see some of my other videos, and you can come to your own conclusion. But I think as a public servant, sir, the county administrator, I drove all the way here from Long Island, New York, 6 hours, because that sign offended and was very many people, because we care about the Constitution, sir. And you're basically saying, but you're not, because you're saying First Amendment auditors aren't welcome in this building, which is not even your building.
No.
But that's what the sign says. In this office. Okay, in this office. This is not your office, sir. Respectfully, this is not your office. This is not your office. This office was given to you by the people, albeit indirectly through the county legislator here, but it was given to you by the people. Does the county legislator know? I don't know if you answer this question about that sign that you have in your office, sir, in the people's office.
In my office all the time.
And they see it.
Whether they look at it or not, I can't say. But it's up, just like it was up when I was standing next to it in the last time.
A First Amendment auditor.
Dan was here.
Dan, correct.
Mm-hmm.
So you have no. So you're not going to take down the sign whatsoever. You have no. You won't take down the sign in the spirit of bridging the gap between, because what you're doing, sir, is you're trying to single out a group of people, a group of activists, and there might be some activists that you don't like, but again, it's their First Amendment right to say whatever they want to you. They don't have to be as nice to you as I'm trying to be, sir. So that's their First Amendment right as well. As you took this job, you might have not been elected, but you took this job in order, and you knew that it comes with serving the public. You knew that that's what it comes with. Sometimes it's going to have good people. Yeah, but that sign is not serving the public, sir. I'm sure you've received many phone calls.
When we're trying to provide services to the public, to our constituents, and it's very disruptive. We've gotten many harassing calls. We've gotten.
Well, I'm sure you've gotten a free calls because of the sign. I'm sure that's happened. But again, sir, I'm trying to give you the opportunity to help bridge the gap. Again, you might not like First Amendment auditors. That's your personal opinion. But in a public office, in the people's office that this is, you might think it's your office. Okay, but this is not your home. This is not
in this county, which you do not.
How do you know that? How would you know that?
You own property in Cortland County.
That's relevant. Did I not pay taxes if I stood in a hotel here, if I bought gas here,
yes.
if I supported local businesses while eating here? You don't know any of those things. So my point is that that would be paying taxes, correct? So in some sort of indirect way, but that's paying taxes directly towards the government, stopping for gas, local businesses. I always support local business everywhere I go. But sir, again, it's more than just Cortland County. It's about the people throughout the country. And if the people out the country are telling you that sign is unacceptable, and as somebody who works for the people, I think you should take it down. I think you should take it down and show solidarity with people who stand up for the Constitution. If you don't like certain people's First Amendment auditors, or hang the sign in your private residence, private offices, whatever you want to do, but in the people's office, and again, I can't force you to do anything. I can't. That's not, my job is to force you. My job is to report on what's going on here in the offices in the administrative offices here in Cortland County, and you as the county administrator who have a lot of responsibility in this county, correct? You basically oversee the county, correct?
Yeah.
All of its departments.
Correct.
So you are basically one of the leaders of this county, correct?
Yes.
And as a leader of the county, what do you think that when people come into your office, I'm sure people from different departments all day long come into this office to speak to you about certain things, correct? That are going on.
All the time.
All the time. They come into your office. And right here, right outside your office, as they're walking in, they see this sign that says everyone is welcome while they're conducting county business. Everyone is welcome except First Amendment auditors, sir. Do you think that's going to set a good example for the people that work here in this building, or a bad one? If somebody comes here, if I'm a First Amendment auditor, if I come here and they know that their boss, the county administrator, doesn't like First Amendment auditors, and I come here, and a First Amendment auditor, to anyone else, they don't announce themselves, right? It's just a guy with a camera. It's a citizen with a camera, trying in the best ways, trying to hold their government accountable. Again, there might be some that do it a little bit differently. That I'm not to judge anyone on their tactics. It's not my place. If it's their right, it's their right. But I am a First Amendment auditor, and I go around the country, and I do work with law enforcement, and I do try and bridge the gap. So I wouldn't. That's like if I, as an influential person, would have a sign that says behind me or in my office that says everyone's welcome except law enforcement. I've been violated many times by law enforcement, have very bad experiences, very horrible experiences, and people have had horrible experiences across this country. But it's ignorant to single out a group of people just on the actions of a few bad ones. That would be ignorant. And again, I don't care your personal beliefs, sir. I don't care. That is your First Amendment right. But as someone who holds a government position here and a position of leadership and authority, people are looking to you for an example. And these other workers down here in departments are going to think it's okay to treat people and not welcome people, First Amendment auditors, who come here, like myself, in order to get some public documents to test the First Amendment, which you should have no problem with if you care about the Constitution. You might not agree with the tactics again, but you should have no problem with. You would rather somebody come in here and wave a camera around and ask a couple questions and maybe even get a little bit rowdy, but hey, it's better than tyranny, right? It's better than North Korea, it's better than Russia. You wouldn't want to live in a state like that, would you?
Of course.
Of course not. So my point is, sir, is that as a leadership role, I'm asking you as a citizen, not maybe of Cortland County, I'm asking you as a citizen of this country to take down the sign in the spirit of bringing people together. It's not something that we should be divided over. Again, you can have your personal beliefs, but I think it really sets a bad example. What I'm worried about is that the people, you said all the time, come in here, different departments come in here to speak with you, and they're seeing that sign, and they're going to treat people that have cameras in their hands. People with the camera in their hands, sir, doesn't necessarily mean they're a First Amendment auditor. What if they were scared? What if they wanted to hold the government accountable? What if they had something to document and they get treated badly because of that sign, sir? Residents of your county here.
Why would they get treated badly?
Because they're not welcome, according to the county administrator, sir. According to the county administrator, people who have cameras in their hands, because you wouldn't know. It doesn't. That's what they're going to take from it, because First Amendment auditors always record their interactions. That's the whole point. Freedom of press. That's the whole point. But that doesn't necessarily mean when you met Dan, for example, he didn't say I'm a First Amendment auditor, correct? You don't announce ourselves as First Amendment auditors, so you wouldn't know if somebody's a First Amendment auditor. You would think so just because they're holding a camera. But what if they were holding a camera for any other purpose? And your employees here, the people's employees, including yourself, sir, are not going to be welcoming to First Amendment auditors. And I think that's ridiculous. I think that sets a really bad example for your county. And again, I can't force you to do anything. Maybe the state legislature, the county legislator can make you take it down. But I don't. Maybe the people can make you take it down. But it sounds like the county legislator doesn't have an issue, because I'm sure they're in this office all the time too. It sounds like they don't have an issue, which is gravely concerning to me as well.
I'm not saying they don't have an issue. I'm saying they have not said anything.
Okay, so I'm asking you. I'm not part of the county legislator. I'm not a resident here, but I'm saying that I know that the people will be contacting the county legislators regarding this. I know that, and I will be bringing the story to the forefront. So I'm asking you, in a spirit of solidarity with and your personal beliefs put aside, sir, as a government official, as a public servant that serves the public, I'm asking you to take down a sign that would be divisive towards the citizens and people exercising their constitutional rights in this public building. Would you be able to? Would you be open to doing that, sir?
I'd be open to consider it, yes.
But I don't understand what that means. Consider it. It's a divisive sign, sir. Would you agree with that? It's a divisive sign.
No, I don't.
You don't agree it's divisive
No.
to single out a group of people and say that they're not welcome in this public building. This is not a private building, sir. This is not your office. This is a public office. This is not your private home. If you want to put that sign on your home, fine. I mean, I think there's a lot of nuance that you need to understand, and there's maybe some dialogue that you need to have with certain First Amendment auditors, and maybe really try and understand where they're trying to come from. Again, not all of them, but I'm just saying. And I think it's very ignorant of you to try and single out a group of people as a leader of this county. You're not just a secretary here, sir. You're not just, someone who works the front desk. You are a leader of this county, appointed by the people indirectly, and you're putting signs up that are very divisive. So I'm going to give you an opportunity, sir. I can't force you, and I'm not trying to force you. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to intimidate you in any type of way. I'm trying to give you the opportunity for the people that watch, that view my content, and from across the country and across the world, sir, that would appreciate it if you took down the sign. Are you willing to do that today or not?
No.
Okay, sir. Do you have contact information, a card I can have?
I do not have.
You don't have a card?
It's all on the website.
Your contact information's on the website?
Yeah.
Do you have
As
the...
well as all the legislators
And
are on
legislators on the website? Okay, so we will use our other part of the First Amendment to petition our grievances to our government, and hopefully someone who has authority over you will force you to remove the sign, because this is the people's office. And this is the people's office. So I hope you're held accountable for your actions, because, again, I've been nice up until this point, but you are, and I will continue to be respectful towards you, because you've been respectful towards me, but that sign is disrespectful towards we the people. And I came here and I tried to tell you why I believe in rationalize with you why I think the people, why it would be beneficial to your county and to the people, and you're letting your ego get in the way of you taking down the sign. So again, I hope someone holds you accountable. It has everything to do with ego, sir, because that sign is divisive. It's divisive. It's divisive, and we the people are going to hold you accountable. Your ego won't let you take it down. We're going to hold you accountable, sir. You have the day you deserve, County Administrator.